Thanks for letting me be a part of your day, and let's party.
All right, real quick, I wanted to say something here too. First of all, I wanted to thank everybody for being here. Obviously, I know a lot of people in my family travel a long ways to get here, and for everybody on Ashlyn's side of the family, Ashlyn's dad Coral has always told me how passionate you guys are about your football down here. So for you guys to come out and support arguably one of the worst draft picks in New Orleans Saints history, I really commend you. So thank you. The other thing I wanted to do, is just the other thing I want to do is just kind of share my story with you. And what football has kind of done is it's given me an opportunity, it's given me a platform to kind of share my experiences, both good and bad. And what I've tried to do with those experiences is make an impact on the lives of young kickers, young athletes, I guess in general. And I did that by starting my own company a few years ago, and now I'm getting to do that for high school kids, and now I'm getting to do that at the college level as a coach. But I really believe everybody has a story to tell that can, that can help other people. And so I guess my story is a little bit of a story of perseverance. And Ashlyn didn't know I was going to do this, but I know it'll mean a lot to her. So I want to share this story with you. So I'm from a small town in Aberdeen, South Dakota. If you guys don't know much about it, it's not many people get the opportunity to play professional sports coming from South Dakota. It's not really a hotbed for recruits. So the odds were kind of stacked against me. A lot of people didn't think that you could do it, but I just had a different plan and different vision with it. And I was a four-sport athlete. I was a quarterback on our team, and I just was who's going to go kick and punt or whatever. So I had a strong leg because I played soccer growing up, so I went and did it. And what happened was I was invited to a big national event in Las Vegas. And somehow I talked my dad into taking me to this event, and at the time had no idea that that trip was really going to forever change my life. And I went down there not knowing a whole lot. Being from South Dakota, I was like, the states in California and Las Vegas, or California, Texas, Alabama, Louisiana, where football is big. I'm from South Dakota, what the heck? But I went down there and I totally surprised myself. And I remember the kicker for the Washington Redskins at the time, James Tuthill. There were like 300 kickers there, some of the best guys in the country. And he said, who here is the best kicker? Who here thinks they're the best kicker? Obviously, nobody raises their hand. And he's like, shame on you. He's like, every single one of you should raise your hand. He's like, somebody here has to be the best kicker. And it kind of struck a chord with me because I was like, you're right. Someone's got to be the all-state kicker. Someone's got to be the all-American. Someone in our class has to be the guy that gets to play at the next level in the NFL. And so, it was really cool. I ended up winning the entire kicking off portion of it and did really well. Was one of the top field kickers. And coaches were coming up and saying, hey, listen, we're going to be recruiting you. And I was blessed. I had an opportunity. I was getting scholarship opportunities. And I remember I got a phone call right before my senior season, and it was a Rivals.com. It was a big website. And they said, listen, you're going to be the #1 ranked kicker in the country going into your senior season. And my attitude was I got to go improve that. And I had a great season and get an opportunity. I go to the University of Wisconsin. And for me, I was never, at all these camps, I was never the best kicker. I wasn't the best. I wasn't the purest guy in my own view, but what I was is I outworked everybody. And someone once told me the opportunity of a lifetime can only be seized during the lifetime of that opportunity. And what that means is if you want to do something special, you only have a finite amount of time there. And when I went to Wisconsin, I had these 4 years, and I said, kind of my attitude was every single day I'm going to do something that gets me closer to that goal. My dream was playing in the NFL. And so whether it was going to the stadium or working out or reading a book or on the mental side of the game, whatever it was, that's what I did, and that's how I approached it. And I ended up having a great career there. I was an all-Big Ten guy, and I was all-American, and heading into the draft was the #1 kicker heading into the NFL draft. And I guess I'm telling you this because I'm just trying to explain how many years went into it, trying to do everything I can, investing absolutely everything. I poured absolutely everything into it. And I was finally at a point when the draft came along. I remember I got a workout. The Saints came up and worked me out. And they said, man, we absolutely love you, but we've only got 6 draft picks. We're probably not going to waste it on a kicker. But and we know you're going to be probably one like the guy that gets drafted. And every year there's one or two kickers in the NFL that get drafted. And so it goes on. We have a draft party at my mom's house. It was an exciting time in my life. A lot of things were going on. And I remember anxiously waiting, finally get a phone call from Mickey Loomis and Sean Payton saying, "Are you ready to be the kicker for the New Orleans Saints?" And I remember it was the best time of my life. I was absolutely ecstatic. I was ready to start this next chapter in my life. And, and just like I proved in high school, just like I proved in college, I was confident in myself. I knew I hadn't done anything yet, but I knew I was confident that I was going to go in there and prove that I was going to be the best kicker at the next level as well. Well, it didn't necessarily go that way, and actually got off to a terrible start. So I come down here, all the rookies, everyone had to stick around, and I ended up tearing my quad, like right at the beginning of June. So the 7 weeks heading to training camp, I didn't get to do a single thing. I basically was rehabbing, so A, I was rusty, and B, I was coming back from an injury, and so I wasn't at full strength. And here I am. I'm supposed to come in and be the young guy with a big, strong leg, competing with a veteran. His name was Martin Gramatica at the time. So I come in, and the end of training camp, had a decent camp, but they said, "Listen, Taylor, we're going to go with the guy that's been to the Pro Bowl, been to the Super Bowl. We're going to go with Martin." So they let me go. They released me. And around the same time, actually it was a little before that, I was invited by Ashley to a little dinner party at Drago's, and that's when I first met Ashlyn. And she was pretty quiet, really didn't say a whole lot, but I thought she was absolutely gorgeous, and I thought she was a sweetheart. And she ended up sending me a message later on Facebook saying, "Sorry I wasn't more cordial," and this and that. And real Southern charm there, Ash. And but anyways, I was 100% focused on what I was doing. I went back to Wisconsin. I was training. What happened was I remember the Saints were playing the Vikings, and Gramatica missed a game winner. And just like every time someone missed a kick, my phone would blow up with 80 messages saying, "Have your agent call this person. Have your agent call this person." But I had a funny feeling about this one, and sure enough, the next morning, my agent calls and says, "Hey, you're headed back to New Orleans." So here I go. I come back to New Orleans. I'm the kicker for the Saints, right? Several weeks later, we go to London to play the international game over there against the Chargers. And the tough part about it was our punter, Steve Weatherford, was also my holder. He got released the week prior. So we go there. Here I am, a rookie kicker. I'm a left footer. And so it's hard for someone to come in and hold for me. So we bring this guy last minute, and it wasn't his fault, but I go in and I miss a PAT right off the upright. The next week we get back. It's our bye week. What they do is they work out kickers. They're always constantly evaluating guys. And so they worked out a couple kickers, and a guy by the name of Garrett Hartley came in and apparently killed the workout. So they said, "Taylor, we're going to go in a different direction." And so they let me go. And it was a pretty hard time in my life because I invested so much, I'd put so much into it, and I was embarrassed. I felt like I let my family down. I felt like I let my friends down. Sorry, I'm just again, wow. I put so much into it, and it really, to be honest, there was a point where I began to question my faith because I was like, I put so much into it, and I wanted to do this, and it wasn't happening. So I had a lot of questions. Why is this happening to me? And you find out that you can never take anything for granted, and it can be taken from you just like that. And I guess I'm finally at a point in my life right now where I 100% understand why I was brought to New Orleans. And no, but I truly believe that God had a plan all along to bring Ashlyn and I together, and I just had to go through a lot of crap along the way to get to this point. I had to get cut on 4 different occasions and bounce around from city to city and live out of my suitcase and do all these different things. But my mom always told me every time something happened, she'd say, everything happens for a reason, and she was exactly right. And, I just think, I don't know, I kind of got off track what I was trying to say there, but I'm sorry. I got a little caught up there. But Ashlyn's the most amazing girl that I've ever met, and so I'm really excited. And I'm at a point in my life finally now where I'm old enough to understand that football was only going to last so long, but my relationship, my marriage with Ashlyn is going to last forever. And I was actually just thinking about this too. Isn't this kind of ironic? Does anybody know what's going on this weekend? The NFL draft, right? So it's kind of ironic that where this all began, we're getting married on the same day. So with that being said, and I never thought I would do this, but I want everybody to raise their glass to Sean Payton and the Saints for bringing me to my bride. Cheers. Enjoy the night, everyone.